won 3 titles. This is the first time his squad has ever had a 2-0 series lead.
Yeah, it doesn't help the other guys when they're missing a couple of key players. Let's get to that. Here are the pictures of the game just concluded in the last few minutes. Braun, just mentioned. Bam Adebayo and Goran Dragic both out. They have scored or assisted on nearly 50% of the team's points this postseason. They're probably going to try to attack the place where Adebayo was not. First quarter. Got Myers Leonard alone trying to protect the paint. Here comes Howard. Throw it down. Lakers getting going early, working inside. Jimmy Butler. Howard. Resists. Knocks that away. Push it the other way. LeBron coming to the rack. Lakers dominating things inside. All right, Lakers up, late first quarter. Moving it around. Davis has the smaller guy on him. That's too easy. Lakers with an 8-point lead right there. LeBron, Davis, bucket. Lakers went 17 of 20 on 2-point field goals in the first half. Kicking things down deep right there. That's going to work. They were all over the floor. Lakers let it fly from 3-point range here. Zone D. Lakers didn't hesitate. Shooting 27 threes would set a record for the most attempts in an NBA Finals half. They take a 14-point lead as they went into the break, launching one after the other from way out front. All right, third quarter. Heat could not find an answer for Davis. Matched up against Leonard here. Sets himself up. That's easy. Lakers up 72-56. Davis. Jay Crowder on him. Medicinal. Lakers up 74-59. Next possession. Davis in the corner. Lighted 3. And we got a 15-point game going. Davis. Call the fire department. Coming to the rack. 4 straight buckets for him. 15 points on 7-8 shooting in the first half. Then he had 15 on 7-8 shooting in the third quarter. Udonis Haslem trying to inspire his team in the huddle here. He tried to stay in the game. They pushed a little bit mid-fourth quarter. Down 10 here. Kendrick Nunn getting involved in the D. Blocks that thing away. Haslem message getting through. That shot redirected. He trying to get back in it. Lakers got this guy LeBron just waiting down deep. 12-point lead. And they're about to put game 2 away. 2 minutes to go. Lakers up 11. This is recreational. Anthony Davis. Great dish by Caruso. Big finish by Davis. Lakers win this thing. 124-114. And the LA Lakers out front by a count of 2-0. Here's LeBron with Rachel Nichols.
Hey, LeBron, I just saw you pulling Anthony Davis aside. You got in his ear for quite some time. What were you telling him?
In-house.
Okay.
In-house.
I'll stick with the stuff that was out of house. Pretty good night for you, 33 points. And more importantly, you guys are 2-0 ahead in this finals. How do you feel about the way you guys took control of this game, even when Miami tried to make a little run there in the third?
It's a great team that we playing, and we understand that. We understand they put you in some really tough positions offensively. Well, when they're offensive, we're on defense, beating our switch attacks, doing a good job of slipping out. We overhelp a couple times. They do a good job of kicking out, spraying out to their shooters. I'm looking forward to watching the film once again, seeing ways we can be better, because we can be. And so I'm looking forward to that.
I mentioned AD. Dwayne Wade said tonight he thinks Anthony is the best fit for you as a teammate you've ever had. What do you think of that assessment?
Well, it's a compliment to AD. He's a big-time player. He understands the position that he's in. He understands how much our team needs him, and he comes through. Doesn't say much, but we know that he's very determined to go out and not only do what he needs to do individually, but for the betterment of the team, more importantly.
Tonight, you passed Magic Johnson, 6th all-time in finals games played. This was your 51st NBA Finals game. I joked to you the other day that for the past decade, save 1 year, it's been the LeBron James Invitational. Does it ever get old, or does it feel special every time?
No, it never gets old being on this stage. That's what I work my tail off for, to be able to play into June, October. And I'm honored to be able to be with such a great franchise with great teammates, great coaching staff, and a great fan base to be able to represent the Western Conference. So it will never get old to me. I just try to take full advantage of it while I can.
And you're wearing a very special jersey tonight representing that franchise. Those are the Black Mamba snakeskin jerseys. You guys are undefeated in those unis. Anthony told me, he said, we just feel like we can't lose. There's pressure, extra pressure. We cannot lose in these. Do you feel the same way?
Well, it's always special to be able to represent someone that meant so much, not only to the game, but obviously to the Lakers organization for 20-plus years. And for us to honor him, being on the floor, this is what it's all about. And, you know, we're thinking about the Bryant family, Vanessa and them daughters. They're with us. We're with you guys. We love you guys, and hopefully we're making them proud by wearing these uniforms tonight and throughout the course of the postseason.
Thank you so much, LeBron.
He always mentions, he goes back to the room, looks at film, he says. I appreciate the ethic and the fact that he's still using film.
He's a basketball nerd for real, though. He really is.
Basketball head, they call it. So Anthony Davis got a lot of praise there, and deservedly so. Davis in a pretty solid company here. Just the 5th player to score 30 points in each of his first 2 career NBA Finals games. Kevin Durant was the last to do it. That was in 2012 with the Thunder. Jordan the last before him back in 1991. Then you got Rick Barry and Hal Greer way back in 1967.
Well, joining us now here on SportsCenter, Rajon Rondo, the 49th time in his playoff career he's dished out 10 or more assists, goes for 16 and 10 here. Rajon, let me ask you a big picture question first, because coming into this game, you knew that the Heat would be shorthanded. And from a mentality standpoint, as you well know, that's not something you can allow everyone to look at and say, we're going to take a step back because we know they don't have their squad. How do you guys keep that motivation when you know the other team's going to be so shorthanded?
It starts with our leaders, coming into the game with this mindset, knowing that, 2 of the star players are out. But nevertheless, the team is in the finals. So they didn't get there but just by 2 players, so it takes a team effort. You want to come out and respect those guys on the floor tonight.
I guess another thing you expected was Miami to go to that zone at some point in this game, but it appears as if that you guys were ready for it. I mean, that's good scouting, obviously. What was your approach when you knew that they were going to go to that zone defense?
Let's go with what we worked on. Last 2 days we've been going over how to dissect the zone. Coach did a hell of a job of drawing plays up for us, and we came out and executed the ball.
We just heard from LeBron talking about the Kobe Mamba jerseys you guys are wearing, and clearly, based on what happened, his tragic death in January, been some of a motivation for you guys this season. How do you put into words to the fans watching at home, Rajon, kind of what that spirit from Kobe is doing for you guys in this moment?
Just come out with a killer mindset. He always played every game like it was his last, and putting on that jersey means a lot to everyone in that locker room. So we understand the legacy and what it holds, and we want to go out there and continue to try to build our legacy as a team and for Kobe as well.
Kobe, of course, won 5 championships with the Lakers. You've already won a championship in your career, but you've got a lot of guys on this team that haven't. You've got a 2-0 lead. What will your message be to the younger guys in the squad?
We've got to have a kill set mentality. This team, like I said, obviously at first they're in the finals for no reason. And we want to come out every game and play as hard as we can. And this will be a big game. It's the biggest game of the season, the biggest game of this series, and we can come out and look forward and to attack.
Well, you are 2 wins away from your 2nd NBA championship and also be the first for Anthony Davis and the first for Frank Vogel. Not bad for a trio of former Wildcats. Rajon, appreciate the time. Go Cats.
No problem.
Kobe got a lot of mention there, and he gets some more here. Lakers are now 20-1 this season when LeBron and AD combined for at least 60 points. According to Elias, do not question Elias. Elias Sports Bureau says that's tied with Shaq and Kobe from the 99-2000 season for the best record by any teammates in NBA hit when combining for at least 60 points, minimum 15 such games.
All right, Tim Legler joins us now here on SportsCenter. And Tim, you've been talking about this Miami Heat zone defense that they displayed a couple games ago and why it was so effective for them at those intervals. And we just heard Rajon Rondo talk about it. What did you see from it tonight in terms of how the Lakers were able to handle it?
Yeah, the Heat had great success against Boston. There's no question that has had a huge factor in them winning that series. But this is a completely different animal. First of all, you've got size and skill that you could put in the middle of this. And I just thought their play construction and making a concerted effort to get the ball to the middle, to get the ball to the short baseline, the two areas on the floor that you absolutely have to get it to attack. You see the way they reverse sides of the floor. When you do that, you end up getting two guys in the same place at the same time, which you had Hero and Butler do. And as a result, LeBron is able to hit AD on the cut. Here, once again, keep place to occupy, middle. Morris gets the ball right at the foul line. You're going to pinch in the wings. Wide open three out on the perimeter once again for the Lakers attacking that zone. So I just thought that their approach to it was proper in that they understand if you get the ball into the interior of a zone, you are going to have to react and you're going to force multiple communications. When you do that, you're more likely to create some sort of a mistake. I thought Lakers did a great job of it the entire game. They're clearly ready for it. Miami has had great success using it throughout the season and in the postseason, but this team has too much. They've got too much size and athletic ability in the paint and along the baseline, and then their role players have been knocking down shots. That's the one thing Eric Spoelstra was hoping wouldn't happen, but so far the Lakers role players have been on point with their shooting, and there's just been relentless offensive pressure they've put on this team.
Yeah, and scheme is one thing, but you have Rajon Rondo and LeBron James, two guys with maybe the highest basketball IQ of their generation, executing against that zone. That's a nightmare for an opposing team. There's no question about that. Let me ask you about the fact that AD was able to take advantage of a smaller Heat lineup, especially without Bam Adebayo out there. I mean, granted, he's one of the best players in the league. You give him any type of advantage, he's going to do work, and he did that tonight.
Yeah, he's really their only big-time athlete up front. So you take him off the floor, the zone is going to be even smaller than normal, and it's already 4 wing players basically in Bam Adebayo. And what happens in a zone defense, you don't have a specific guy to block out. So as a result, Anthony Davis, and this is where he really, I thought, just absolutely imposed his dominance on the game. He's getting these running starts from out on the perimeter with smaller players trying to do the best they can to get a body on him. But you can see how he just had 3 consecutive possessions where he completely overwhelmed Miami with his size, his length, and then his touch. And so even when Miami could force the Lakers into taking a 3-point shot with a hand up, Anthony Davis was cleaning up all of those misses because you have smaller bodies trying to get a check on a guy that's moving at them with a high rate of speed. It's just an impossible task for guys like Kendrick Nunn, Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, even a guy like Jimmy Butler, giving up that kind of size. You're asking an awful lot. And Anthony Davis, I thought, in that third quarter, made sure that Miami was not going to make a significant run. So too much size, Mike, too much talent. And so far through 2 games, too much shooting. And that's the one thing that Miami thought they had an advantage in this series. But the Lakers have done enough of that to free up all that inside room for Anthony Davis and LeBron James.
I mean, they're down 2-0. You got 2 of the best players in the league on the other side, and you're shorthanded with Miami. If there's any way, Tim, that you could give some Miami Heat fans hope right now that they could win Game 3, what would have to happen in order for that to play out?
Well, I think, first of all, Bam Adebayo has to play. They just don't have enough athletic ability on the front line if he's not on the floor. So that's the first thing. And I don't know if he's going to. There's talk that he might be available on Sunday. Hopefully he will be. And then they're going to go look at their zone. I mean, I pointed out what the Lakers did well, but honestly, this was not the best effort that Miami has had defensively in that zone. I thought they had a ton of communication errors where they ended up with 2 guys on the basketball. That's a cardinal sin when you're playing a zone defense. The whole point is to make sure that you've got the interior sealed off and you've got guys matched up with shooters so you can close out quickly, get a hand up. If you end up with 2 guys on the ball, you're never going to catch up to it. And I thought there were just a number of possessions in this game that Eric Spoelstra can go to the tape and say, this isn't us. This isn't us at our best. Let's clean this up. You get Bam back on Sunday. This team, I think, scored enough tonight to stay confident. They've got to be much better defensively, and that's what Bam Adebayo and some good film work can do. So that's my best pitch for the Miami Heat fan base to get back in this series on Sunday.
Yeah, it's a scary scenario to say the least, considering what we've seen here in the first 2 games. Only thing scarier, Tim Legler's house during Halloween. Appreciate you, brother.
That's it, Mike. You got it.
Michael asked about giving